The opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? But can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
And welcome into a Thursday episode of Running Point on YSNLive.com. Brought to you as always by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. I'm going to go ahead and put them in the top right-hand corner of the screen so you know where to go if you are in the market for a new or used vehicle. Make sure to check out Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. They go the extra mile for you. We try to do the same here on this show every single day. Sorry, I didn't mean for that pause to be as dramatic as it was. Every single day, Greenwood Chevrolet helps us go the extra mile for you. They go the extra mile for you in cars. We do it in local high school sports. Tomato, right? It's been a crazy morning. Want to share something? I bought these headphones. I changed to these headphones, a couple months ago because I was sick of these the in-ear headphones with the wires getting all tangled. They was so much easier to get tangled. And I thought, well, you know what? Big headphones, like how are these going to get tangled into something? Well, I'm tangled. I'm all tangled up. I don't know how it happens. I swear there are like little creatures that come in at night and tangle your cords, and that's how it happens because they're just sitting here. How does it? I digress. We're gonna have a good episode today on Running Point. We have plenty to break down from last night, plenty of recaps, and then we have a player profile. We're getting back to our player profiles. We have had to take a little bit of a break from them with the tournament talk, but we are getting back to our player profiles today that we have featured. We have a lot that are in the can that are already posted on ysnlive.com. We're going to get to one that is a little bit past due on getting to on the show, and it is the shortstop from Ysn softball who will be playing in the sectional finals. Not tonight. That game has been canceled with Howland, but they'll be eventually playing Howland in the sectional finals. Gia Chavone from Ysn. So we're going to hear from her a little bit later on in the show. It's a great interview with their senior shortstop, and we can't wait to share that interview with you guys. But first, we have to get to the scoreboard. There's a lot to go over from last night. We're going to pop up the scoreboard on your screen on ysnlive.com. The YSN scoreboard is a great tool for our fans, whether you're at one of the games or watching one of our broadcasts. Either way, you don't want to look away from the screen for too long, and the YSN scoreboard is a great and easy way to get live updated scores from your favorite YSN family teams. We have a great team behind the scenes to make sure that this is as updated as humanly possible, and it is presented by Burnett Pools, Spas, and Hot Tubs. The YSN scoreboard can be found at ysnlive.com/scores. Make sure to check it out today. We're going to check it out today, but make sure you go check it out on your own, right? Here we'll start with baseball as always, and we start with Warren JFK bouncing back from a tough series with Lake Center Christian. They get the big win over Ashbyville St. John, 12-2. Big win for the Eagles. A thriller in the nightcap at Scene Park as Mooney escapes Howland 7-6, beats the Tigers late into the night. A very good nightcap for Scene Park, if I do say so myself. Inside the EOAC, no drama this time around for Columbiana. The first time they played East Palestine It was a battle. It was one that the Bulldogs gave the Clippers everything they possibly could have wanted. This time around, Alex Eusebio and the Clippers shut down East Palestine. They were able to get more runs than last time. 11-1, the final score. Columbiana, no drama this time around against the Bulldogs. West Branch got the win. This is a great win out of conference against Division I Glen Oak. 7-5, the final score. Warriors over the Owls. We go into back to the EOAC. Lisbon with a big win over Southern, 14-5. That 9-run victory, just 1 run off of a run rule. We talked about it in baseball, especially when you're watching pitch counts and you're trying to save arms. Those 9-run wins have to be the ones that really just like are super bittersweet. You're happy you dominated, you're happy you won, but you're as a coach, you're probably sitting there thinking like, man, if we had one more run, we could have saved some arms, saved some pitches, which is one of the strategic things to do in high school baseball. You have a pitch limit, and then you have to rest guys. So when you're trying, especially when you get in tournament time, when we're talking about how much rest these guys have and can they pitch in the next round, ending games when you can early is going to be really important for these baseball teams. We go into Lowville as they went into Western Reserve and got beat 13-3, all Blue Devils in this one. A big win for Western Reserve to bounce back from last night's loss to the Rocket. I should say Monday night's. No. Jeez, what day is it? Tuesday night's loss to the Rockets. This is what you don't pay. This is what you come for the streams for, guys. My sometimes crazy bonkers mind and the way it works. In Canfield, the big win on senior night, 14-9 over Alliance. They get the win. 14-8 over Alliance to get the win. Michael Patelis, all he did was play, every fieldable position you could play. So he put on a show. Canfield put on a show, and it was a great senior night for the Cardinals. Once again, a 14-8 win over the Aviators. Youngstown East and Ursuline doing battle in the Steel Valley Conference, and it's really Ursuline's world inside that conference. Everyone else is just living in it. 22-0, they get the win over the Golden Bears. Heartland Christian having some old school rivalries with Salem as the Quakers come in and get the 3-run victory, 6-3, the final score. In this one, Newton Falls dominates Liberty, 12-1, the final in that one. The MVAC great here heating up, and then they were able to play a game against Camel and get the win 10-0. So a doubleheader for Newton Falls, domination on both ends with run rule victories on both sides. Garrettsville Garfield, they dust Shocker, a big day from Eric Geddes. As always, he's a staple of that program. He's been on Big Dogs a couple of times in his career, and they get the win 10-0 over Southington Shocker. Louisville with some late heroics. 6th inning was a big one for the Leopards as they edge out a win 3-2 over Marlington, the two teams scheduled to play again tonight, weather pending. Of course, another close one in Lakeview as the Spartans of Bournemouth come to town and squeak out a 2-1 victory over the Bulldogs. Beaver Local gets the win over Struthers. I saw that wrong. Struthers gets the win over Beaver Local, 7-6, the final score there. Champion with an impressive win over Girard, the pitching for the Flashes on point as they win 2-1 over the Indians. We go to Mineral Ridge as they travel to Hubbard, and the Eagles were up for the task against a young, scrappy MVAC co-champion team for Mineral Ridge, by the way. Hubbard wins 11-1. This is the first time in a while that Mineral Ridge baseball has been conference champions. So congratulations to that team. They got it because, Springfield fell to McDonald 4-3. This is one that Mineral Ridge needed Springfield to lose, and McDonald had a comeback. This was a continued game. It was 3-0 Springfield when they started action back up from the delayed game earlier on in the season. And McDonald had the night. They scored all 4 runs of the night and came back to beat Springfield 4-3. Last but not least, Jackson Milton with a run rule victory over Matthews, 13-3. We go into softball, some of this tournament action, some of it regular season mixed in. Beaver area falls to Shenango, in a very close one, a heartbreaker for the Bobcats. 9-8, the final score there. Mohawk gets back on track. They had a tough week leading into last night, but they get the win 11-3 over West Middlesex. A big win for the Warriors as they look to get back on track before their postseason starts. Edgewood in the tournament, they get the win over Kirtland. 9-6 your final score there. Lakeside beats Niles 19-10. East Liverpool falls to New Philadelphia 20-0. In a tournament action, Lake comes into Boardman, wins a high-scoring affair 16-14. Boardman had the game-winning run aboard in the bottom of the seventh, but a big strikeout from Uniontown Lake ended the rally. There was a very controversial interference call also in that inning. It was a wild game, and as you can see from the score, everything wild about that. And Lake's offense came through 16-14. They beat the Spartans. They get the upset win on the road. Louisville, no upset in Louisville as they win against Nordonia. 11-1, the final score. They're moving on as well. We have Jackson Milton. They were able to take care of Cardinal 8-3 in their sectional finals. They're going to the district semifinal. Western Reserve also victorious in their sectional semifinal, 13-4 over Wyndham. They get the win. Katie Byers with a big day for Reserve. Badger goes into East Palestine, gets the win 4-1 to advance to the district semifinals. Isabella Bailey continues her impressive end of the season as she has a big game for the Braves to propel them to the district semifinals. A big game for Lily Marilillo in Middle Ridge as they win their sectional final over Lowville. 13-4. That is the third win over the Rockets this season, but the second one out of the three that is not a run rule. McDonald all over Fairport Harding as they win 6-0. The final score there. They advance into the district semifinals for the second straight year. Ashtabula St. John falls to Canton Central Catholic 10-0. The final score in that one. Southern Local gets the win over East Canton 6-5. The final score. They're advancing into the district semifinals for the second time in a row. They will play same team as last year and trying to get revenge. Newton falls to Chalker 10-2. That's who Southern will play. I had a completely brain fart there. So Chalker versus Southern Local in the district semifinals. Matthews, no trouble with Wellsville as they win 18-0 to advance into the district semifinals. No shocker there. Matthews, the 1 seed. They're the favorites in that district. They will play on Monday. Austintown Fitch got their first tournament win as they beat Mayfield 18-0 in run rule fashion. So their journey back to Firestone starts with one step, and it's a good one for Fitch. Girard splits a doubleheader, I should say, with Struthers. This is a regular season game trying to finish out league play. Girard wins 2-1 in game 1. Game 2, it was Struthers 7-2, getting the win there. Poland goes on the road and advances past United to get into the district semifinals. 17-2, 16-2 is our scoreboard, but I believe the report we got was 17-2. Either way, Poland is moving on. They will play in the South Range district semifinals on Tuesday. The opponent is to be determined. That is scheduled to be tonight between South Range and who are they playing? I have to hold on. It's killing me. Hold on. Hold everything. Canton South. Okay. Kansas South versus South Rain scheduled for tonight, and Poland will play the winner of that on Tuesday. Columbiana also had their game moved back to last night. They were scheduled to play tonight, but they get the Wycliffe Blue Devils on 1 day's rest instead of 2. It doesn't matter. Columbiana wins 6-0. The final score there. They advance into the same district. They'll be on the opposite end of the bracket of Poland in the semifinals. They'll play the winner of Pine-Tuning Valley and Rootstown on Tuesday. Regular season matchup between LeBray and Hubbard, and the Eagles get a big day from Haley Taylor as they win 10-7 over the Vikings. That's going to do it for the scoreboard. Like I said, we have sectional finals tonight in divisions 2 and 3 scheduled, but there have always already been a couple of them that have been canceled. Howland and Ursuline, we already know, have been updated. That game is not happening tonight, and we also know that a couple other games have been on the brink. We know that the 2 games got moved to last night just because of a abundance of caution for weather. So we'll keep an eye on what the tournament games are doing tonight. Obviously, I said it. Put it at 17, the tally in the last week. We started this last Thursday. So 7, well, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shows, 17 times saying that word. Dang. Got it. If you're a fan of Running Point, you're keeping count with us, hopefully. But yeah, like I was saying, sectional finals scheduled for tonight, but there is rain. We've already seen some baseball regular season games get canceled. Everything at Scene is canceled tonight. So we will just stay updated and see what goes on tonight and come back tomorrow with recaps of anything that does happen. If the sectional games get canceled tonight, tomorrow's going to be iffy. There are schools that have prom this weekend, so it's like, are they going to try to make it Friday? Prom makes everything kind of weird. I don't know why some schools, I should say, have made prom. This is like the latest I remember prom ever being, prom weekend. I know not for everybody. There have been some other schools. Prom is kind of spread out. It's not a set weekend for every school. But there are a handful of schools that have prom this weekend, and it feels kind of later than I remember, which is right in the smack dab end of postseason. So that can make things kind of interesting on when these teams play these sectionals and how they're prioritized, really. Like, does OHSA say, okay, you have prom, so you can work with it, or they just say, hey, you're playing the next day. We have to get this bracket taken care of because it's not fair to, let's say, the other team that maybe doesn't have prom, and they now have to say, well, if we win, we have less days rest because that team has prom, So we'll definitely keep an eye on what the reschedulings are and when tournament games are and aren't happening. We'll try to keep you guys as updated as possible as we stay as updated as possible. It's harder because tournament time doesn't use Arbiter Live, which is what I rely on during the regular season to tell me when games are canceled or when games are scheduled, because Arbiter is the website that schools use to schedule umpires. So it's going to be correct when it says the game's happening. Like, it's not going to get umpired without it being on Arbiter. So we use that, but they move on to a different thing for the tournament. So there's not like a website that I know of that I can just go on and say, hey, this game's canceled, other than the bracket, and that kind of takes a long time to update too. So like right now, you could go to the bracket and it would still say the Ursuline and Howland are playing tonight, but they're not. So we'll say as updated as possible. That's the tail end of that big rant, and we will we'll see what's going on. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we have a player profile to get to. Gia Chavone from Ursuline. That's coming up next on Running Point. Brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens.
Live here outside the Mahoney County.
On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update.
Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
From on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
Craftsmanship to us is 60 years of pride and dedication.
Passed down from generation to generation.
The hardwood floors that your kids take their first steps on.
The solid wood doors you quietly close at night.
The things we create day in and day out are the products that end up turning your house into a home.
At Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods, uncompromising quality and craftsmanship built our business.
And it will keep us moving forward for generations to come.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means we want to take care of the community that takes care of us too.
And we have to work together always. And that's how you stay in business for 40 years.
You know, I love being a helper because when I help somebody, it makes me feel good.
It means a lot that I can make a difference in others' lives.
So I will do everything I can and just being there for them every step of the way.
I want them to know within the first 5 minutes that they could depend on me. That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun. It all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. They go the extra mile for you. We try to do the same here on this show every single day. Checking the social medias as we were on commercial break, we have some more official cancellations from softball tournament tonight. Geneva at Canfield tournament has been canceled, moved to tomorrow at 5. We already told you Ursuline and Howland has been canceled. Mooney and Champion sectional final tonight has been canceled, moved up to tomorrow at 5 o'clock, so they'll just move it one day up. Hubbard and Kinston, that'll be in Kinston for Hubbard. That's moved to tomorrow as well. That game not happening tonight. So those are the ones that we can confirm and tell you about. Those are canceled. Those tournament games not happening, moved to tomorrow. Ursuline and Howland has not been officially scheduled yet. From what I hear, they're going to try to do Saturday morning, but that's not official. That has not been confirmed. That's just what I believe they're aiming for. So we'll try to hear back from the OHSA and keep up to date on that. With that being said, we're going to roll right into the player profile that was promised today. It is going to be Gia Chavone, the shortstop, senior shortstop from Ursuline, featured on today's show. A great interview. Me and Ty Bartell both on it, and we hope you enjoy it. Anthony Herwig, Ty Bartell here with an Ursuline softball player profile. We're joined by senior for the Irish, Gia Chavone. Gia, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
I want to talk about your journey to get into this spot, young lady, too, because you're very talented, both sides of the ball. Batting in the middle of that Irish order, you're also talking about someone that's playing the shortstop position, too, so you got a lot of weight on your shoulders there. Talk to me how you've been able to handle all that, too, and kind of be a leader for this team this year.
So starting off, years of practice have definitely played a big role in where I'm at today. Coaches along the way have helped me an insane amount. I think Coach Dugan has especially played the biggest role, especially this season. From October to where I'm at now, she has mentally and physically prepared me to be in the position I am right now.
You know, Gia's senior year can bring a lot of emotions, right? Because it's the last time you're doing a lot of things, last time you have the last home game, and all the stuff that comes with senior year. How have you been handling the emotions that it brings?
So obviously going to college next year is super exciting, but Ursuline has truly given me 4 of the best years of my life. Actually, 3 years of my life. I came here sophomore year. I didn't really know anyone on the team, but Ursuline softball has truly prepared me, and senior year is hitting hard, especially because of how much I've loved these years playing, especially on the softball team. Not only that, but academically as well.
You talked about your relationship with Coach Dugan and how she's kind of prepared you for this moment too. What's some of your favorite like Coach Dugan quotes? Does she have any like memorable ones that she says a lot to you, or do you have any that stick out?
Coach Dugan definitely has played the biggest role these past 3 years. She's like the perfect balance between having fun at practice and staying focused. I can't really think of any hard quotes that she's said, but she truly, how do I even put this into words? She wants the best of us, and we could have played the best game of our life, and she just wants us to see better, or she just wants us to do better and see better for herself. So that's one of the greatest things about her, I think.
You know, one of the things that we know about Coach Dugan, talking to her the last couple of years, and obviously watching her coach you guys from afar, she really puts a big stress on the mental game, and she gets you guys in the right mental mindset to be softball players, but to be people too. Yes. What has she helped you the most with when you think about the mental aspect of softball?
Coach Dugan has had the biggest influence on making sure you're not very hard on yourself. And what I mean by that is I'm the type of person, I make an error, I'm thinking about it for the next week. She has truly changed my mindset to shake it off because you're only as good as your next play. And that's actually one of the things that she says most often. You're only as good as your next play, and the next play is the only one that matters.
We're talking a lot about this current chapter that you're in with your softball story. I'm kind of curious when that first chapter was written. When did you find yourself in the sport, and when did you first find yourself falling in love with the sport of softball?
So growing up, my dad was my biggest influence on the whole softball thing. He played baseball, going all the way up into college. I want to say I started about 4 years old, a little t-ball, and then working my way up. Luckily, Poland was such a big softball community, and so I was surrounded by the biggest support system. I was surrounded by the greatest coaches that I've ever met. The players were absolutely phenomenal. We actually, when I was at 14, it was a combination of the Poland Canfield team. We made it out to the World Series, and that's just the core group that we have stuck with since we were little. And I think I fell in love with the game when I was small, and playing in college was always a dream of mine, so I'm glad that I get to accomplish that now. Softball has definitely just been one of the most consistent and best things of my life.
Since you brought it up, let's just segue right into college softball. I want to give you the time to tell everyone that maybe doesn't know where you're going to be continuing your softball career after you graduate Ysn.
So I will be continuing my softball and academic career at St. Mary's College, Notre Dame, Indiana. I filled out a recruiting form about a year ago, and luckily I was randomly picked out of the bunch and got in contact with Coach Cassie. She has been so helpful already. St. Mary's, their program is only growing. They have a bunch of young girls right now, and seriously, they've won the last 6 games that they've played, and I'm just so thrilled to be able to be a part of that program someday. College softball has always been the biggest dream of mine, and I'm glad that I get to play it at my dream school.
When you met them and met the coaches in the program, and what was it about that school and that program that made you feel like, you were going to be home there and that you wanted to go there?
So truthfully, this school is actually a family school of mine between Notre Dame and St. Mary's. My family has had the biggest influence, but being in South Bend has truly been a dream of mine. The atmosphere there is just, it truly is a dream walking on that campus. The coaches were so understanding of the fact that I academically obviously want to advance in my career. They were super understanding of the fact that, there has to be a balance between academics and athletics. I think that was one of the most important things to me. The campus already is absolutely beautiful. The administration is so helpful. I'm just so blessed to be able to go there.
Talk about your experience in the sport starting at 4 years old, and you're going to be a collegiate softball player too, and you're going to accomplish that dream. A lot of other girls probably look up to you and say, I want to be in that spot too. I want to be able to reach for the stars and achieve a dream as well. When you talk about maybe some advice you'd give to some younger girls too, some younger softball players that look at a Gia Chavone and say, hey, I want to be like her one day. What's some advice you give them about being able to accomplish their dreams? How do they get there?
The biggest piece of advice that I could give as of right now is to just be versatile, be open up to anything. Starting when I was younger, I was originally a second baseman, and I grew into a utility player. That has been one of the most helpful things when, picking a college and starting my senior year, not necessarily knowing where I was going to play. So definitely be versatile, be open up to new ideas, obviously, and just have fun playing the game. It's at the end of the day, softball is simply just a game. It's meant for, you to escape the real world, have fun. And I feel like, people take softball a little bit too harshly sometimes. I think that, it's a sport and it's very important in your life. And, at the end of the day, you got to have fun playing it. So that's something that I took to heart this year. And I'm finally realizing as a senior in high school that, you just have to move on from any errors that were made. Softball is a game of failure and, you just have to take the positives with it.
We're talking about you leading the youth of the softball world, but also this team is fairly young. There's a lot of girls that are having, their first year of solid varsity experience and being able to kind of quote unquote get their feet wet. What have you been doing to lead those people along so this program can succeed long after you graduate?
So I first and foremost have to give credit to every single senior on this team. You have Lily Dietz. She is really strong in the circle. She has, I don't know how she does it. She's pitched almost every single game for us. She's done absolutely wonderful. Watching her grow from, 12U softball to now, it's just been wonderful to watch her grow. Savannah Patrone, you never have to worry where the ball is going to go when you're in the field. She's always got your back. She's always telling you where the ball is going to go. And then Ariana Wentz, she, you can put her anywhere in the field, anywhere in the lineup. If you need someone that you need a clutch hit from, Ari's your girl. So the seniors have truly shaped this team. I think that we have the perfect balance between, every personality on this senior squad. The younger girls on this team, so talented already. I'm so excited to see how Ysn softball is going to grow in the future. Regardless of where these younger girls are playing, they're succeeding. They're doing really well. And it's a blessing to watch them be able to grow into those players who they're going to become eventually.
Ari stepped up with a big pinch hit too the other day.
Yeah, she did.
I want to talk a little bit about just your career with softball too. Is like I said, it's been an interesting one because of how long you've been in the sport. So you talk about your entire experience and like the advice you were able to offer. But what are some of the goals now that you look ahead for and going into college? What are some of the new goals that stay atop of Gia Chavon's list?
So goals definitely is my mental game. Again, I'm some type of person that, you make an error. It's very difficult to get over it. But luckily, especially as I said, Coach Dugan has truly shaped my mindset on that. Hoping to continue that, mindset of shake it off. It's okay. Going into college, I'd really love to, keep my batting average up, keep the errors down, be able to prove that, you could throw me anywhere in the field and I'll be able to get the job done. That's one of the biggest, most important things to me is just being able to be dependable. I like to think of myself as a very approachable person as well. So hopefully people are able to talk to me if they're ever feeling like, they just need a little pick me up. So between mental game, personality wise and skills wise, hoping that those all, merge together, which I see as in my senior year. I feel like I finally hit the point where I'm content, that I'm able to be that type of person for everyone else.
You're hoping that you can be the person that lifts other people up, but I'm wondering who are the people in your life that you can go to when you need a pick me up and you need that nice little confidence boost? Who are some people that you go to?
So my teammates are some of the biggest, pick me ups around. Truly, Ysn softball is such a fun place to be in. This season, regardless of wins and losses, we have an absolute blast playing. My dad has been one of the biggest influences in me. He truly has shaped the player and the person I am today. He is the type of person that truly just wanted to see my best growing up. He never got mad at me for striking out. If I made an error, so be it. He just wanted to see the best from me. And I think that truly, that was one of the most important things. And that was one of the things that I was most grateful for growing up with a dad who truly just, again, wanted to see the best in me. He didn't care what happened as long as I was trying my best. That truly made me feel content with the fact that this is just a sport. Also, travel coaches have had such a big impact on me. Growing up with the same coaches has been very important. The consistency as well as new faces. And it's nice to see, different coaches, different opinions on everything. So I feel like just all of those together have absolutely shaped the player that I am today.
Your dad's gonna owe you dinner after all the nice things you're saying about him. Just so you know.
I mean it.
I'm curious now, and I'm going to make you pinpoint one too. You've talked about your versatility. You talked about being able to play multiple positions. And of course, you're the type of player, you're going to have fun wherever you play. What position do you have the most fun playing?
I feel like I have to say second base because I feel like that's my root position. That's what I grew up playing. Obviously, anywhere else in the infield is awesome. Outfield is so much fun. I feel like there are definitely girls faster than me, but outfield is such a blast to play. I've even stepped up as a semi-catcher this year, and that's also been fun. But definitely second base. That's been, the most consistent position. That's about it.
I feel like I know the answer to this follow-up, but I'm going to ask it anyway, too. You talk about all those positions you've learned. Which one was the most difficult for you to kind of get your wings in and figure out?
So I feel like stepping into the position of a catcher this year has definitely been the most challenging to learn. I truly give all credit in the world to catchers. I don't know how they do it. I feel like, shortstop is just a mirror of second base. Outfield, definitely learning how to tuck your glove correctly and sprint is very difficult, especially in a game when, balls hit, adrenaline's rushing, and you just don't remember to do that. So I feel like there's challenges in every position. I don't really obviously consider myself a catcher, but again, like catching is definitely a very difficult position. So I'd say that's the most difficult that I've had to pick up and learn this year.
The only thing left is pitching. Go warm up.
Oh my goodness.
Let's go.
I'll leave that for my younger sisters.
We're good. We're good. So when you think about softball and think of some of your favorite parts of the game, what are some superstitions that you have that you've had some fun with over your career?
Oh, my biggest one is definitely the bows. I haven't played a game without a bow in, I want to say, about 5 to 6 years.
Do you think it brings you like luck? Is it gonna give you hitting mojo?
I don't know. I seriously cannot play a game without a bow. And Urslin's given me the bad habit of the glitter eye black too. So I can't really play without that either now. If I got eye black on, it's gotta have glitter on top of it.
Now, is it like if you guys are on a win streak, is it the same bow that you're putting in? Do you change bows, or is it just as long as it's a bow, it's okay?
To match the uniform. So there's a white one for the white uniforms, but so it goes.
You're adding layers of complexity for her. Now she's gonna think about extra things going.
Yeah.
I also want to talk about. I know this has been a theme for Anthony this year with softball players. The softball icks. I love the question too. What are some softball icks for you?
Oh my goodness, I don't even know. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like, you know what? I'd say the eye black all over the face, but I feel like it's so unique and cool. I can't even say that that's an ick anymore. I feel like anything that you make, standing out, I think it's awesome.
It's worn on her.
I really can't think
what's
of
the
it.
one winning and leading the way right now, Ann?
Right now, we're tied with Nevage and people that wear their visors outside their ears are the ties. Right now, the softball.
You know what? Then I guess I'll say people who wear the visors above the ponytail, maybe, or over top of, like, if they got French braids in and they're putting the visor over top the braids instead of under, maybe. But you got to do what's comfortable.
Yeah, do it.
You're just too nice of a person.
Yeah, you know what? You just do you.
Yeah, just do you. No one's judging. It's not a big deal.
What about one that I haven't heard yet from high schoolers, but I hear a lot from college, like stepping on the lines in pregame?
Oh, that is definitely. I feel like that's like just the universal rule. You don't step on the line.
Yeah, that's the unwritten. Like that's a gray area.
We actually try messing with Coach Dugan all the time, saying that she steps on the line, and if we lose, that's why.
Oh, geez, Coach.
That's been fun this year, but yeah, I feel like that's just the universal thing. Don't step on the line.
You talked about leaving pitching for the younger sisters too. I want to talk about just the experience of playing with relatives too, and just having that experience this year.
Playing with my sister has truly been one of the greatest things that could have ever happened. You know, we have always been in different age divisions, but playing with her this year has truly been so fun. I could not imagine having a senior season without her being there with me. I feel like it's definitely brought us closer as people. I'm so excited that she's going to have that same relationship with our youngest sister, Francesca. Also a very good softball player, but both my two sisters are definitely my rocks. Those are two girls that I'll do anything for them. And again, I cannot put into words how grateful I am that I was able to play with Ariana this year. She's done so well making varsity as a freshman. I'm so proud of her. You know, she's hitting really well, fielding really well. And again, I'm just so excited that when she's a senior, my youngest sister, Francesca, is going to be a freshman, and she's going to have the same thing all over again with that. So I'm really excited to watch them grow as people, grow as players. And again, I could not be more proud of them both.
Yeah, this has been a blast. And what we do at the end of all these interviews is we give the player the chance to take the spotlight off themselves for a second and shine on the people in their life that are supportive, that are there for them, that are in their corner. I want to give you the time to give as many thanks as you want. Take the time that you want to give out your shout outs to your support system.
Sounds perfect. So I've already talked up my dad pretty well. You know, he's always been the person that I turn to. You know, if there's an issue with softball, my dad's got it. He's able to fix it for me. Again, my sisters, they are the best people ever. I can't be more thankful for them too. And then last is my mom. My mom, I don't know. I don't know how she does it. She makes bows for our team. She provides the food and snacks and drinks, and she's everywhere at one place. She's always there if you need something. My mom is one of my best friends in the whole entire world. I simply do not know how she does it. I don't even have words for how much she does for us and our family, teammates. She's amazing.
Moms are the best. The glue behind the scenes,
Yeah.
the loudest at the games. I mean,
she's got it all. She does her game changer. She's
I mean, your dad's cool, but he's got nothing on your mom. I'm sorry.
Dad's the coach. Mom's the number one fan and everything.
Right.
Yep, always.
Gia, we want to thank you again so much for taking the time to join us. It's been a blast talking to you. We wish you the best of luck the rest of this senior season, and we can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
Thank you so much.
A very fun interview with Gia Chavone. Want to thank her for her time. Want to thank Ty for his time doing that interview with us. He does a lot of hard work helping us out with getting player profiles up and running on the website. If you missed that interview, want to see it in its entirety, it can be found at ysnlive.com. It can also be found on the YSN YouTube page. So you can make sure to go over there, watch those, check it out. If you're on our YouTube page watching that, if you feel so kind and you feel so obliged to and you want to, hit that subscribe button. It helps us with the YouTube algorithm to get out there to other people. If you're subscribed, likes also help. The YouTube algorithm can be really funny that way. And if you're liked and subscribed, also make sure to hit that notification bell, because the YouTube algorithm is kind of funny, and you never want to miss a minute of the video action that we put up there. We put up player profiles, post-game interviews, coaches' corners, game highlights, some full games get put up on our YouTube page as well. So make sure that if you're subscribed, you hit that notification bell, because almost every day we're putting up some form of video content up there, and you don't want to miss a single minute of the action. That's going to do it for today's show. It's a rainy day. I know it kind of sucks. A lot of things getting canceled, but enjoy the breath. We had a long stretch without rain, without cancellations. And I guess Northeast Ohio wanted to remind us that we still live in one of the cloudiest areas in the country. So that's to be said. Looks good tomorrow. Going to be cloudy and a little bit cool. But if this rain, as long as it doesn't affect all the fields too much, then we should be good to go tomorrow. Fingers crossed. We will be back tomorrow on Running Point 1 to 2. Check it out. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And have a wonderful evening. Running Point always brought to you by our good friends over